Okay, welcome back to episode number 15 of the Recovery Tapes. And today, I promised everybody that would be not a normal podcast. We would have international guests as well as stories from people in Australia. And today, we have someone from the other side of the sea who I met on TikTok, and I really, really rate this guy. He is a straight out battler, and a lot of us Australians go on holiday in Canada, etc., like that. So I thought we'd set up a podcast and a yarn, and we'll hear a story from someone else. So can you please introduce yourself, man?
Absolutely. My name is Michael D. I'm from a place called Montreal in a province, Quebec in Canada, 55 years old, 6 years clean on the 15th of November, right around the corner. And good to be here.
Congratulations, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
So where did you grow up? Did you grow up in Montreal, or did you move there as an adult? Or
No, grew up in Montreal, born and raised in Montreal. Yeah, never really moved around too much as a kid. But we started our lives here in Montreal.
So just to give a bit of a picture to paint for all of the Aussies and stuff that are listening, what's it like over there, man? Can you sort of give us a little bit of a rundown of what it's like over there?
Yeah, pretty well. So good question. So Montreal is in a province called Quebec. Quebec is a province that is done. There's a lot of French-speaking individuals from France that came over. Excuse me. So a lot of tension between the English and the French going up in the 80s. As kids, the English would fight the French and so forth. A lot of political, crap, if you want to call it. Quebec wanting to separate from Canada on numerous occasions, but the English stayed strong and never let it happen. So it, it's an okay place to grow up. But there was already that rift with the English and the French.
Well, there you go. You learn something new every day. I had no idea about that at all, though.
Yeah.
So to start painting this picture for people, what sort of environment did you grow up in as a kid, man? Was it a stable one, chaotic, and living rough? Like, give us the rundown, man.
Absolutely. So parents got divorced when I was, I don't know, 8, 9, like millions of other kids, I guess. And that I guess was the beginning of the downfall. As soon as my parents got divorced at 9 or 10, I didn't accept that. I didn't understand it. Didn't even think it was possible. And so I was faced with the dilemma, they both asked me, well, who do you want to live with? And I felt right away from the get-go that now I got to make a choice, and either choice I make is going to hurt the other. And I love them both equally. I had good parents. But the divorce really crushed me. I didn't know how to take it. Didn't know how to accept that as a 10-year-old. I guess I was 9 or 10. And my first choice was to stay with my mom. Started living with my mom in 1979, to give you an inkling. I'm a little older.
Yeah.
But stayed with my mom, and she had married an alcoholic native. He's just an alcoholic, but he was physically abusing my mother, beating her every night, and then he was beating me and my 2 brothers. So you go from the parents' divorce to living with your mom, and then you're getting a strap every morning for just waking up. So it wasn't good, and I truly, honestly believe that was the beginning of my my rebellion, if you want to call it that, because I had to started using, but things started changing. I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah, man. So what was your teenage years like then? Was it a rebellious time for you?
yeah, teenage years didn't really have them in the sense because I left home at 13. Well, just before I turned 14, I lived on the streets with a buddy of mine in Montreal. We started it off as a project to see if we can just fuck off and live on the streets downtown on the main. So we became friendly with the prostitutes and really weird shit, dude. Like they kind of felt sorry for us, I guess, because they knew. I mean, when you're 13, 14, you don't look like an 18, 19-year-old man. So a lot of them took us under their wing, and they would take us to their house to get rest and just rest and breakfast. And they actually cared for us. It was nothing, nothing, you know what I mean? It wasn't like that. They cared for us. But what happened was that street time was supposed to be for the summer, and I never got off the street. I just started hustling the streets at 14 and started using marijuana. I mean, I don't consider it a gateway drug, but that was the first thing I started doing. Actually, it was hashish. Started smoking hash, drinking, and then to the weed. And then as 15 comes, 6, and obviously no high school whatsoever. Got into high school, got expelled for fighting and not listening and doing whatever I wanted just because, again, Gary, I think it's just, I guess it was the pain, man, at a young age, the divorce and all that crap and the physical abuse. It was more seeing my mother get beat in front of me that really, it was tough.
Yeah, I'm really sorry that you went through that, man. That must have been really, really hard in the sense that to go from being with your dad and then going straight to seeing that happen to your mum as well. I can only imagine that would have been a very traumatizing.
Yeah, you want to talk about feeling powerless, you know, as a young man watching your mom getting fucking slapped around and being called the C word. And our family all lived in the same street. My mother's family, to be precise. My mother was Irish, so
Yep.
I don't have to say much on that. I think we all know. And he would just dangle her out, and he came out of the shower naked, slap her around in the street in front of everybody, call her the C word. But eventually one day that stopped, that changed.
Yep. Yep. So with all this going on, man, and this environment that you were sort of in at such a young age, what was a positive influence for you at the time? Like, do you remember clinging on to something that was positive standing out for you?
Oh yeah, it was music.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Music,
Can you tell us
music.
about that?
Yeah, first, I don't know how it happened. Music was an outlet for me. Music today, to this day, is like oxygen for me.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
I love music, all kinds. I play music, I sing. But as a kid, I remember my first concert in 1984 when I was 14. I went to see Iron Maiden, and you know, fuck, it's weird, but Twisted Sister had opened up for them. And when you're 14 years old, it's your first concert. It's Iron fucking Maiden. I was pretty
Yeah,
pumped, and
man.
it was
Yeah,
a way
man.
to, it was just a good way to release energy. And I was like, man, what is this? Like the crowd, the music, it was just fantastic. And I kind of got right into the music scene fast and hard.
I think the music scene and that lifestyle from those, like, obviously I wasn't around in those years and stuff, but like, yeah, most blokes that I've spoke to about those sort of years are sort of like, man, we were partying and rocking, bro. Like,
Yeah. I saw
so
AC/DC, if that's of any for
yeah,
you
they're
Aussies
legends,
out there.
man.
My
They are.
favorite
They're
fucking
legends, eh?
band ever. So
So, you touched on it before with the weed and stuff, but how old were you when you first tried heavy drugs, man? Like, tell us how old you was and
I just got my license. I was 16 years old, and I met a couple of whatever. I met a couple girls, and they were a little older than me. They were like 18. They knew a guy that had I don't know what I'm allowed to say on your show here, Gary, but
nah, you're right. You can say whatever you want.
oh yeah. So they
Yeah,
knew
yep.
these girls were a little older than me. So when you're 16 and you can get with an 18-year-old, I don't know if you know, it's a big freaking deal, right? So
Yeah.
they they knew a guy that had blow, and
Yeah, man.
that was the first time I got introduced to coke. And to be honest with you, in the beginning, I don't even know if it did anything.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's because it was shite or it's just, you know, my nerves. Nothing happened, but kept seeing the girls though.
That's good.
And eventually, another time we got some more of that stuff, and then it rocked. Then I felt it, and it was like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
you know, you're like, you know, you're a kid still. You're like, what the fuck is this? You know, I feel so good for
Can
a
you tell
while
us
anyway.
you tell us a bit more about that, man? Do you remember what was going through your head, like that first time that you sort of felt that rush?
You really, it's crazy. I felt like I was a fucking freight train, dude. I felt like I was
Yeah.
unstoppable. I felt like
Yeah,
I was
man.
on fire. And as a kid, not knowing the dangers and the consequences, I was just like, I just found my new thing. This is my calling. I can do anything with this. I can cut my sleep time. I can fucking hustle harder. I could, you know, I'm like figure out how to get more. And that was the beginning of the end. I mean, because my addiction, it was from that point, like from the age of 14 with the hash and weed up all the way up to the age of 49. And I stopped drugs at 49 by the grace of God. But yeah,
Yeah, man.
when I first started doing the blow, it was like, this is my thing. And I mean, some people it's alcohol, some people it's, you know, ice,
Yep.
whatever. Me,
Yep.
it was blow.
So did it pretty quickly go from something that was just in your life every now and then to something that really controlled it? Like, can you tell us how once you started living that lifestyle, it sort of sucks you in and then you get stuck living like that for a long time sometimes, don't you?
Well, yeah. From 18 to like 49, I was doing blow. It's amazing. Not every day, but as often as I could. And I've suffered for it, you know.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
sure that
Yep.
you know, I spent many nights not sleeping, not eating. The blow, the powder became crack cocaine after a while in 1992.
That's the year I was born, eh?
Thanks for making me feel young. I love it. 1992, started smoking the crack, and that's a funny story actually. So I was always doing blow, and I didn't want anything to do with that stuff. So
Yep.
I was waiting for my stuff. If you just want to hear how I did my first hit of crack,
Mm.
I was waiting on a half of powder, and I was with the dude, and he's like, "Dude, try this." I was like, "Don't fucking show me that again. I won't tell you again." So he said, "Tell you what, you try this. I'm going to buy your powder. You can hold on to your money so you can get double the powder, but do this. I'll take care of it. So he was going to buy me essentially $50 worth of blow. So I
Yeah,
said,
righto.
give me the pipe. That was the beginning of the end, buddy. When I did that fucking hit, and it's scary, man. You don't feel anything, but as soon as as soon as you exhale, the
Yeah.
fucking freight train came through, man. I was like, what the fuck?
I was really hoping you were going to bring this up without me asking because for us in Australia, right, like on YouTube or on the news or whatever it is, like they obviously show the worst parts of places on social media or on the news or whatever. But some of those streets and those sidewalks in America, man, they look like a fucking war zone, man. Is that what it's actually like when everyone's on that shit?
Well, what they're on now, it's Trank or Fent, and it turns you into a zombie. You're like a horseshoe, inverted horseshoe. You don't fucking move.
Yeah, okay.
Excuse me, that's the opposite of blow. Like that shit'll trank you out. You don't move. You're in a heavy knot. It's like a heavy opiate.
Wow.
Whereas crack is a deviation of coke. It's actually cocaine, but it's cooked with, what do they cook it with, man? Well, you can use baking soda, cocaine, and water, or you can use
Yeah,
I
okay.
forget the other one. But I don't want to go too much into it. But yeah,
Fair
especially
enough.
in the USA, I feel sad for my neighbors to the south, and especially there's a place in Philly, in Pennsylvania, called Kensington Street. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
ever seen that place on the internet.
Yeah, I think that's the one I'm talking about, man. It was Philadelphia that I was watching, and there was just, man, there was like
Yeah, yeah,
hundreds of
yeah. It
people
looks
just,
like the zombie apocalypse guy, like
yeah,
Walking Dead. You need a shotgun and a fucking couple shanks with you just to make it through the day. Yeah.
that is wild, man. So it's not like that in Canada, though, is it? That's an American thing, yeah.
It's not that bad, but we do have that issue here. It's slowly creeping out, creeping up. Like, yeah, you see it sometimes downtown, but
Mm,
here's the issue is that in the 80s, they had mental health institutions, and what they did in North America is they just stopped funding those type of places.
yeah, okay.
So every single drug addict, regardless of your addiction, there's nowhere to go. So you're either in jail or on the street. Those are your options.
Yeah, fuck.
And I've been to prison, and now knowing both sides, I went to prison for crime, but if I was ever an addict like that, I'd just smash a window and go to jail. Like there's
Yeah, yeah,
that's your
yeah.
best spot, right?
So what's jail like, man? How long did you do in jail?
We'll say I was lucky in a sense because in Canada, I don't know, I think because we're a commonwealth with you guys, maybe it's the same. So let's say if I do a crime and
Yep.
it's severe but not too severe, your first sentence, they give you what's called 2 less a day. So 2 years minus a day, which
Mhm.
you end up doing 18 months. That's,
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
the provincial bit. So you do 18 months. If you do something that's a little more severe, what happens is 2 years plus a day. And then that's a federal crime.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
So yeah, all in all, I probably did about 7 years in
Yeah,
prison.
fuck, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
7 years. But as all, I don't want to laugh about it, man. But they weren't
That's
all
all right.
bad times. They weren't all bad times.
Uh, dude,
It's crazy to tell you, but I got to tell you if we're going to talk about it. Yeah, it's not a good
yeah, go
place to
for it,
be,
mate.
but there were some good times. I don't even know how that makes sense, but it's the truth, man.
Man, I remember the first year that I was locked up after I was living pretty rough myself on the streets in a certain situation. So I can understand what you're saying there, man. Like sometimes just to have the bed and the warmth and the clothes and the shower and shit is enough to be happy with at the
Yeah.
time, eh?
Yep.
So what did you lose during your addiction that you will never get back, no matter how much you've changed?
Great question. Just give me a second. I lost the years I'll never get back. I was addiction's bitch for 35 years.
Hmm.
Those years are gone. I'll never get them back. I lost my family and
Yep.
I lost my son who lives in Australia. My son lives in Sydney. I lost him. I sent him an email a few weeks ago and he hasn't responded, but that's the hardest thing, the hardest thing for me. He's a beautiful boy. He's 28 years old. He has a great job. It's kind of funny because I work in sales. He works in sales. And when we were talking, he sent me his stats and he was number one in the room. And I'm pretty much always top three in sales where I work. And I just miss him. And it's all on me, man. It's all because, the nights I was supposed to pick him up at a train station, hey, Brent, don't worry. Dad'll pick you up. I'll be there at 7. And I never showed up. Kid's like 13 years old waiting on his dad. It's,
Thank you for sharing that with us, Michael. That wouldn't have been easy to say, mate. Like, good on you for being honest as well. It's always good to see a man owning his wrongs and moving forward still, even though that's the situation without dragging it along. So Yeah, I take my hat off to you for saying that, man.
No worries.
So, do you believe that your addiction had a purpose? Like, do you think it was meant to break you open to find out who you really are later in life?
I'm gonna tell you something, Gary. That is the best question. I'm not swearing at you. That's the
No,
best
yeah.
question you could have fucking asked me.
Yeah, man. Go
Because
talk,
last
brother.
night before going to bed, I was scrolling on TikTok and I came across this thing where it was this reel talking about how addiction is actually how God would communicate through his chosen ones. I don't know if you saw this on TikTok. I'll
Wow.
forward it to you later. I'll
Yeah,
save
man.
that to you. I saved it and I'll forward it to you when this is done.
Yeah, please
So
do,
this
man.
guy, I don't know if you're familiar with Carl Jung, Jung. He was a
I am
philosopher.
actually. Yes, yeah.
You are? So this guy, his philosophy is that anybody that suffered with addiction was chosen by God, and he used addiction to
Wow.
communicate with the individual to get you ready for your purpose. You understand? Not everybody's an
Yeah.
addict. And I'm not saying this is fact. I just saw it last night. I'm going to forward it to you when we're done. But according
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Carl Jung, every single addict ever, doesn't matter what, that you kept going back and hurting and going back and hurting. He says that was the way God would communicate with his chosen people so they can get the word out, and he would prepare them so they would be strong and be able to face anything. And so it's really weird you asked me that question. So now that I mentioned the Carol Chong thing,
Yeah, man.
what was the question? What? Just repeat the question, please.
So the question was, do you believe that your addiction had a purpose? Like, was it meant
Yeah,
to break you open so you
absolutely.
they could?
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
absolutely. So you know what I think? 35 years of addiction and prison and homelessness and sleeping outside
Yeah,
and
bro. Yeah, man.
not fucking eating and going down to 130 pounds and not sleeping for 9 days and still here. I'm still fucking here. And
Fuck
now I
yeah,
have a
bro.
good job. I'm an account executive. I have a 2-bedroom condo. I think
Mm.
that the purpose of my addiction, and when I saw that thing yesterday on TikTok, I just think it was for where I'm at today. I think because today my only goal is to live with humility, try and be humble, and really reach out to people that are suffering with addiction. I don't judge. More than anything, it makes me sad to see people, strung out on
Yeah,
zombie
man.
shit. And
Yeah, man.
so I just want to, I guess that was my purpose. I don't know. Maybe the Lord's using me as a vessel. I have no idea. But all I want to do is, I just feel like I came so close to dying, Gary, that I wanted to die. I never
Yeah.
did it, but I really wanted to. And the fact that I didn't die, I just figured, you know what? I'm sober. It'll be 6 years on the 15th of November. So
Fuck yeah, man.
since last March now, I've been trying to reach out to people on TikTok and build a platform. And just, I didn't want to do it at first. I was afraid of being judged, afraid of being,
Me too,
not
brother.
liked,
Me
people
too.
not liking my face, this and that. And then, something clicked. I was like, dude, you're an old man. You're going to croak. You're going to die any second. So I learned it's okay if people don't like me, right? I'm okay with that. I don't
Yeah,
like
man.
everybody. So I step on my fears and I do what I do. And if 10 people hate me because of what I do, but I save one person in the process, I'll take that every day.
Fuck yeah.
I just,
That's,
I'll do that
man.
every day.
So let's talk about Sobriety Grind, because I don't just have you on to hear your story as well, man. I want to get some of my followers and some people that listen to my stuff, you know what I mean? Like, tell people what you do at 5 a.m. every single morning and what you host and what it's all about, what it means to you, man. Talk off the back of that for about 5 to 10 minutes and just tell us what you've set up, bro.
Well, I don't know if it's a trick question because I'm sorry if I get emotional, man.
Nah,
But
man.
so I don't know, man. It's really weird. I'm kind of a shy guy a little bit, but I guess
Yeah.
not that much, but a little. And I didn't want to really do lives where everyone's doing lives. And I'm always up early. I'm a morning guy. Like every morning, I thank God for blessing me with another day in my
Yep.
recovery.
Yep.
And I just figured, let me just go on live at 5 a.m. and see what happens. And unbeknownst to me, well, fucking people from Australia, when it's 5 a.m. here, I think it's 7 p.m. there, or I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yep.
So I got, some of the people that come on, there's Stu, there's Mickey,
Yeah,
there's
man.
Shard. So, and then people from South Africa and this. So just slowly building a live every morning, 7 days a week at 5 a.m. between 60 and 90 minutes long, where we just talk addiction and we run questions. We have a hot seat every day. I'll put someone on the hot seat. We drill them with questions. We have testimonial Tuesdays where we get someone to share
Yeah.
their whole testimony, their life. And
Yeah,
I
that's
think
cool, man.
it's really good for the person, the addict, and it's good for the people watching. I've been getting a lot of DMs in my inbox, and I tell you, Gary, sometimes some of the messages I get, they fucking blow me away. I get emotional
Yeah,
because
brother.
it's
That's that shit
you
right
don't
there,
expect
Michael.
to be when you really see that you're really helping someone, like it's such a good feeling. I can't
I've cr-
explain it. It's better than any fucking high in the world. I
Yeah,
tell you.
man. I've cried in my kitchen before, bro. I've opened my TikTok and just opened a message, bro, and just put my phone on the bench and just gone, just bawling, bro. Like, and I never in a
Yeah,
thousand years, bro, thought that someone would take the time to send me a message, like out of all people, and I know you've experienced that too, man. It's
yeah,
good, bro.
it makes it all worth it, man. And it's turned into it's a little bit of a community, There's we made a
Yeah.
sobriety grind panel. I think I put you in it.
Man, I watch
But
it secretly. I watch it secretly. Like, I don't always participate or whatever, but I jump in there where I can and I send you the roses, I send you all the stickers and the love hearts, man, because to see all those people feeding off your energy and what you've just said to me and spoke about your story and how things have been for you, right? For you to be putting in your time to create that for them, man, I've got to give you a shout out and take, if I could, without the headphones and the mic ruining, I'd take my hat off to you, man. Like, that is, I think it's great, man. It's basically God's work, man. Like, people don't even get that sort of help when they pay money, man, and they can just go onto TikTok and you've got it all set out for them.
I appreciate the kind words, Gary, man. It means a lot. I mean, I don't know how many lives are out at 5 a.m. here in North America on the East Coast, but
Mm.
you know what it shows me when people show up and it's 5 a.m. Some people are in Vancouver where it's 2 a.m. when I'm at 5 a.m. and they
Yeah.
show up.
Yep.
They're warriors, man. They show up, dude. No, we're warriors that stand in the trenches and we fight addiction shoulder to shoulder every day. And there's people that show up every day. I mean, that's discipline, Fuck motivation, right? We all know
Yeah, bro.
motivation will only get you
Yeah,
this
man.
far, but
It
discipline will
does.
change your fucking life. So
Can you
shout
tell?
out to all those, huh?
Can you tell us about that, man? Can you speak about what's your opinion on discipline over motivation for people that are listening? What's your take on that?
Yeah. Motivation is like short-lived, Like
Mm.
I don't know. It doesn't last. It's hard for me to explain motivation. You got an idea and you're gonna go for it. And 10 minutes later, you're like, fuck, this is hard, and you stop. I'm not motivated anymore. Discipline is, fuck, I have to get up. I'm gonna do something with Gary this morning. It's 4 o'clock. Fuck me. But you know what? I'm getting up anyway. Discipline is doing the things you don't want to do, uh, even when you don't feel like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Discipline is it's integrity in a sense because you're doing what has to be done when nobody's looking and it's just you in the mirror. It's just you and your demons. You know how you have the devil and the angel in each ear?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the devil's like, dude, fuck off. Your 5 a.m. lives every day. What are you fucking nuts? Nobody does that. Stay in bed, relax, you work hard. But the fucking Lord, God, discipline's like, get your ass out of bed. Do you. Show up every fucking day.
Fuck
Fight for
yeah.
your sobriety. So I get up. Listen, nothing grows in the comfort zone, man. It's just the way life is. It's for anything and everybody and in every subject. If you like when I started the TikTok, and I'm sure for you when you started TikTok, by the way, congratulations on all your accomplishments.
Thank you, man.
I look at you too. Don't worry. I see what you're doing. But I just want to say for me, when I started, I was scared, dude. I'm not ashamed to tell you that. I
That's
didn't
good,
want
man.
people
Me
to
too,
see my
bro.
face. I didn't want to be judged. When I opened up my TikTok platform, it says share with your Facebook friends. I said, nope, not doing that.
Yeah, man.
I didn't.
I remember pressing the button too, like, nah, this is going to start out with all people I don't know. Like, I'm too ashamed to do it with my like all my friends and that. I completely relate to that. Like, I think as well, another good thing about the internet and even the services that we've got, how I'm talking to you right now, are like, you will remember and be able to relate to this too. Like, there was never any help like what you're providing for other people when you were getting clean. So, like,
No.
you have to give yourself that pat on the back, dude. Like, seriously, man, like the fact that someone can just pull their phone out and watch some of your videos I've watched, like, I like the way you refer to it like you're a warlord, like you're a sobriety warlord, and every single day, and you use all these like, fighting metaphors to do with battles and this and that, and it really, really resonates with people, man. Like I get it. I turn them on and watch it, and I'm like, fuck yeah, that's exactly what it's like. Like there's no sitting down here, and this guy knows that. Like,
Well, I don't know if I know it, Gary, but what I do know is I was a bitch for 35 years under addiction, and those
yeah,
days are gone. And if you
yeah,
want to be
man.
sober, you better be ready to fight because sobriety's not fucking rainbows and unicorns. Nobody's going to give you a tap on the back because you got sober. Nobody's
No,
going to give you a medal for
no.
getting clean. It's really a quiet thing, so I take it seriously. It is a war. It's a war against me. It's a war against my demons,
Yeah.
my
Yep.
thoughts, my mindset. So I'm pissed. I'm pissed that I waited. I'm pissed that I didn't get clean before the age of 49. I lost
Mm.
35 years. It's gone. They're gone. I'm never getting them back. I'm 55. So what? If I live to 70, I have 15 years left. Ooh, big deal. You know how quick that goes by? So the little bit of time I have left, fucking right. I'm a recovery warlord. You like it? Great. You don't like it? That's okay too, man. You don't have to like it. You can keep scrolling. I'm okay with that. But when it comes to fucking sobriety and me, I'm not going to give you a hug here in my program and my thing,
Yeah,
you know?
man. Yep.
We're gonna talk about the truth. The truth hurts. People don't like hearing the truth. Nobody wants to hear the truth. They all want a hug and they all want to be told bullshit to make them feel better. Newsflash, man. Recovery is hard. It takes discipline and motivation will only get you so far, but it runs out. You need to be disciplined. You got to be focused and fucking be honest with yourself and just keep going. And I find that you grow the most when you don't feel like it. Like there's mornings I don't feel like doing the live, but I kick myself and I go anyway. Some guys say, "Hey, Mike, you look a little off today." Well, I am. You know, I'm with you fucking idiots. You know what I mean? But
But you
we're
show
here.
up.
We're
Yeah,
working.
that's right.
You know what I mean? And that's just a metaphor. None of those guys are idiots. You like they are amazing people. And the other thing is I find that as I get to know addicts on a deeper level, the
Mm.
nicest people in the world.
Yeah, man. Actually, I do agree with that 100%. You know, most
They are.
addicts, I say to people as well, like, if you've beat addiction, start your own business if you're young. I'd say to them, like, be humble, though. Obviously, don't just go fucking flying into business, making rash decisions. But, like, man, if you've got that hustle to make that grind and keep yourself going and do something on the side, like, you've beat drugs, you've beat alcohol, like, you've got that extra step up on people, man. Go for it. Use it as an advantage in your sobriety. Like,
Yes, sir.
so do you think that there's a reason that you made it out when so many people don't? Because the reality of the conversation here is, you've been through a lot of shit, man, and you're still here talking positive. So do you think there's a reason for that?
Yeah. Let me ask you a question before I answer yours. I
Yeah.
want to know, I'm not sure on the stat, but what's the percentage of people that make it out of addiction? Do you know?
I'll just ask Google. Wait there. Let's just get my
I
phone.
don't
Just
mean
grab.
to put you on the spot,
No,
dude.
no, you're right.
I
I'll
should have
Google that.
Googled it before.
What's the question?
I think I keep hearing 1%. I'm not sure what the number is, but
I think it's two. I think it's two, bro. I'll have a look. I think they call it the 2% club, because that's what I've been told as well.
okay.
And that's what I go with.
Yeah,
So I'll check this
that
out.
sounds
So,
about right. So to answer your question,
mm,
even as an addict, I love the beautiful things in life. And I knew that, life was dark just because of the substances I was using. So the thing for me was, how do I get out of this? How do I stop the substances?
yeah,
And there's two reasons. One, well, first off, I got rid of everybody, any acquaintance. I don't believe in friends. I think friends are overrated. When you see somebody with 3,000 Facebook friends, it just tells me that they don't know how to say no, right? You've never
yeah,
stood
okay,
up for yourself.
yeah, yeah, yep,
The guy who's got all these, you need to have enemies. I believe that because when you have enemies and haters, that just means you stood up for yourself. You know how to say no. You know how to respect yourself, and not everybody agrees with that. So
yep,
the reason I got through it is I kept my circle small. The last time, my last heavy bang, I was naked in a rundown motel room, and I was in my late 40s, and I was looking around this shitty ass motel room, and I was sweating, and I was just like, man, is this my future? Like, this has been going on a long time. Is this it? Is this how I'm going to die one night of massive heart attack where nobody gives a shit about Michael D and that's it? Fuck that. I asked God, and I know not everybody believes in a higher power, but I turned my back on God for the longest time.
mm,
I just asked God, I said, listen, if this is my life, if this is my future, fucking kill me now or rebuild me. That's it. I'm not doing this anymore.
yep,
That was the seed. You either fix me now or kill me. I don't want to do this. And I had a mountain of fucking coke on the nightstand, a mountain of it.
yep,
And I tried, man. But no, all I did was sweat like an idiot, and it didn't work. And I just vowed to myself, you know what? I'm better. I'm not an idiot, And by the grace of God, man, I kept fighting, and it'll be 6 years next month. But you gotta want it, dude. You really, really, really
yeah,
gotta
man,
want it. You gotta have that
100%.
belief that I deserve more than this. I'm better than this. And I don't want to bring up AA, but they have these quotes like, sick and tired of being sick and tired is a
Yep,
big one.
yeah,
Like
man,
I was just done with this shit because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Well, welcome
yep,
to addiction. Welcome to addiction. That's what
Fucking
that
oath, bro.
was.
I call it the merry-go-round. That's my,
Yes, sir.
that's my metaphor for it because, someone said to me once upon a time, how old were you when you got on the merry-go-round? And I was like, fuck, you know, fuck shit. Like when you say it like that, because it really is, it's this world of just repetitive spinning and just this negative shit. But
You're
when
in
you,
a loop, guy. You're in a loop that you can't get out of. So what do you do? Well, I would wake up, my eyeballs would open. It was like, who am I gonna fuck? How am I gonna hustle money today?
yeah,
Who
brother.
am I gonna
Yep.
rob? Okay, as soon before my feet hit the floor, guy, I'm thinking how I'm gonna score.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
normal.
Nah, man.
That's
So,
not fucking normal.
fuck, man, you've been so good to talk to, Michael, man. Just pouring it all out on the table, man. This is going to come out as a fucking wicked podcast, man. Thank you so much for coming on. So, if you could give a positive piece of information to someone who's listening right now, what would it be?
I would say that as long as you're breathing, as long
Yep.
as you woke up, if you got a new day in front of you, you woke up, I don't care if it's in a hospital, on a park bench, in your home, on a stranger's bed. If you woke up and you got breath in your lungs, you got a shot. I'm going to tell you this
Fuck
about
yeah.
sobriety. It's sobriety is in the present moment. You're not going to find it in the future. You're not going to find it yesterday. One of my hacks for staying sober is I try and live in the present moment every second. Yesterday's dead. I'm not going back. That includes my past, the bullshit I did, the crimes I committed. Why even go there? It's finished. You want
Yep.
to stay sober? You woke up. This is your point. This is where we work today. And guess what? If you stay sober today, that's a big thing, man. That's a brick. That's one
Fuck
brick you're
yeah.
stacking.
Fuck
When you
yeah,
build a
man.
fucking house, you got to build the frame. Then comes the foundation. It's just like your life. It's just like being sober. Start stacking sober days back to back to back to back. And guess what? Before you know it, you built yourself a whole new life.
Yeah, man. Yeah, fuck, that's great, man. Thank you so much for talking like this. Like the whole point of the podcast, while I do it, is to speak to people like you, and for the younger generation, like somebody's going to see these reels, man. Someone's going to hear this,
I hope
Michael.
so, and
You know what I mean?
I
Oh,
hope it wakes them up because everybody deserves to be happy, healthy, and loved. You know what I mean?
fuck yeah, man. That's beautiful that you talk like that. You know what I mean? Like, so how do you stay tough when life gets grounded so the youth that are listening can sort of realize that,
You know, you got to choose your people, places, and things, man. My father told me when I was a kid, you are who you hang around with. Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. He said that when I was
yeah,
like fucking 9. So today, my gut, by the way, my gut instinct has saved
mm,
me probably a dozen times from many, many serious situations. So I'm not the type of guy that follows my heart. I follow my gut. You know, we are all animals. The only difference with us and a wild animal is we have a conscience. That's the only difference. So think of it like that. I don't know if you've ever gone hungry. I've been hungry.
yeah,
And
man.
I
I have,
promise you on my
yeah, man.
mother's soul, when you haven't eaten 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, you change. You're not a nice guy anymore. The animal comes out. So that animal that's in each and every one of us, use it in a positive sense because he's fucking there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Do it one day at a
100%.
time. It's so cliche, man, but it's the only thing I think that will get you there to the other side. Follow your fucking gut. Don't listen to your heart and keep your circle small. You don't need the devil in sheep's clothing around. You know, you notice, Gary, I consider you to be quite successful. I think you're very brave, you're courageous, everything you do. I
Thank
respect
you.
what you do. But do you think that everybody's clapping for you?
Nah, and I
No,
don't want them to be
no.
either because
Exactly. And
before,
that goes back to what we were saying. If everybody's your friend, there's an issue with that. You
I
know,
think,
it's because you're a yes man, or you just never said no, or you never stuck up for what you believe in. I mean, yeah. I mean, just do you, be grateful, and just keep rocking because everybody deserves to be happy, healthy, and live, man, you know?
yeah, fucking oath, man. So, what does recovery mean to you in one?
The word that keeps coming up is peace.
Yeah, nice.
Peace. You know, because in full blown addiction, the angel and the demon, and they're going back and forth. And how many
Yeah,
years
man.
did the demon win and the angel lost? Like, hey, Mike, guess what? What? You've been fucking sober 10 days now. Let's get a bag, dude. Come on. You did
That's
10
a
days. You're
hard
not a
time.
fucking junkie guy. Go get that bag. Oh, Mike, don't do it. You got 10 days. Shut up. Go get the fucking bag, Mike. You're solid. You're gonna let a bag control your life? You're gonna get that little fucking bag's gonna control you, big guy? Come on, show them who's boss. Yeah, I'm getting a bag. You get the fucking bag, and it isn't one bag. I'm gone for 5 days. And it's that whole ego thing where what the fuck? I'm letting a little bag control me. For so long, I couldn't accept that. It's not acceptable. Nothing's going to control me. And I had to let it go. I don't know if that makes sense what I just said. Like,
It
just
does, man. It does. It resonates on a lot of different levels, man. Do you know what I mean? Like for me,
Just let
mine.
it all go, brother. You don't have nothing to prove. Let your ego go. Today I can tell you, yeah, the bag beat me bad. If you pull out a little bag, I give up. I'm scared. It's gonna beat my ass. It weighs a quarter gram. It's a quarter gram. I don't know you guys use kg or pounds, but I'm 210 pounds. I don't know what that is in kg. We'll say 98. But
Yeah,
yeah, that little bag will beat my fucking ass. I realize it, I believe it, and I accept it, and I move on. I lost that fight. What am I going to do? There's nothing I can do, and I accept it. So I don't go there.
I think that's one of the reasons why you're so strong in your own recovery and able to support other people is the fact that you can admit what you just said. You know, not a lot of people will admit that out loud. There, that's sort of a thought that you'll have as a bloke at night when no one else is around, when you're laying there staring at the ceiling, so to speak. You know, but not many people will say that, man.
Well, you know what? I think in recovery, you got to start being honest with yourself, and if you did things you're ashamed of and speak about it, you kind of liberate yourself from that as well.
Yep.
And if those words scare people, the younger generation, the Gen Xers, the Gen Zs, or whoever watches your podcasts, guys, there's so much more to life than fucking. I'll tell you this, using drugs doesn't make you a tough guy, doesn't make you special, doesn't make you invincible. If anything, it makes you a loser. So, you know what? I think that the new flex today is sobriety. I think it's being sober.
I think it is, man. Like when you look on the internet, right? And I saw an article about this the other day because obviously my feed on my TikTok and my news page on the internet and all the other stuff is flooded with recovery stuff, you know. And they saying, whatever the generation is of today, they were saying Gen whatever say sobriety is cool, and apparently the percentage of kids that are choosing to actually go out to the nightclubs and stuff the way that it
Mm.
was done all generations before. Like kids are choosing to not drink anymore, man. They're not going out, you know, like the message is to cool to be sober. And it's a good message for people, you know what I mean? I think there was a point where, I mean, in the 90s, I remember growing up in the 90s and everything was just like drugs and bitches and guns and this and that, you know, it was all just fucking rah, 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 you know what I mean? And for us, man, we was just like, yeah, like, yeah, you know, but the reality of it is none of us was like that at all, bro.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I not that it makes, not that it's very important, but the 90s was my favorite decade.
I think it was for a lot of people. Like,
Yeah, that was an
yeah, man.
amazing time. But anyway.
Yes. So for someone who's struggling like right now, who will be listening to the podcast, do you have a message for someone who's like struggling right now?
Yeah. So me being 55 years old, I still have an 8-year-old little boy that lives inside me. He's the little boy inside me, and I want to take care of that boy now, you know.
Fuck yeah,
He's
mate.
with me every day. Even if I'm
Fuck yeah.
55, I have that 8-year-old that walks with me every day, and I think of him, and I want to
Yep.
take care of him, and I want to do the right thing. So I walk the line, and I just want to do the right thing. I'm sorry if that's not the answer you're looking for, man, but
Nah, man. People can take
it's
what they will from that, bro. The fact your honesty is just second to none, man. It is. Thank you so much. Like the honesty, the truth telling, the other side of the fence, you know, like,
just to say that, however old you are, 20, 30, whatever, it doesn't matter. Think of your future self. When you do something, sobriety is not going to be easy. It's quiet. You're not going to get tapped on the back for it. You're not going to get a medal for it. You're going to have a lot of tough days. You'll even relapse. That's part of recovery. Okay.
mm,
But think of your future self, man. Every day you stack, every brick you stack that you get through the day sober, your future self is thanking you for it. Because if you
fucking
want a
oath.
future, you better get your ass sober. I'll tell you that. Don't be like me and fucking waste 35 years and end up, it's so embarrassing at the age of 49 and you're thinking, what the fuck is happening here? This is not a life. And I carry a lot of resentment about that. The fact that it took me so long to snap out of it, but I'm slowly learning to forgive myself, man. And it is what it is. I'm just grateful. And, I wake up this morning, Gary, before my
Yep.
feet hit the floor.
Yep.
Thank you, Lord, for blessing me with another day. I appreciate the opportunity to do something good to make myself a better tomorrow every single morning,
Fuck yeah.
so I try and stay humble. I still have issues, man. Sobriety doesn't make me
Nah,
perfect. I got
no way,
faults. I'm
bro.
impulsive. I'm impatient. I suffer from road rage. Like if a guy's driving 100K in the passing lane and I pass him on the right side,
Mm.
I slow down to see what stupid looks like. I just got to look. But I'm sober though, it's
Yeah,
different.
man. Yeah, man. So we'll wrap the podcast up here, man. I'll just ask you one more question in relation to where you see yourself in the future. But for everyone that's listening in Australia and the reels that'll come out, using this platform, I can upload this onto YouTube as well, man. So you can, actually see
You
yourself.
upload it wherever you want, Instagram, YouTube, I don't care what you do.
Man, I think the message that's come across from me and you sitting down and having this chat, and the fact that we can do this in 2025 all the way across the seas is pretty fucking crazy, actually. But where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself in 5 years,
It's
man?
pretty.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years, Michael?
It's honestly, with all humility, I see myself retired.
Yeah,
Me, when I say retired, doing my own thing. Like, I want to keep helping addicts. I want to keep the sobriety grind alive and growing because it's a passion. And when you do something that's a passion, it's not work. So when I say I want to retire from the 9 to 5. I'd
yeah, yeah,
rather do eight
yeah.
hours a day on sobriety grind than
Mm,
going to work for secure card merchants and selling their product. That's what I do. They pay me well. That's great.
1000%, bro.
But I'd rather be, I'm so passionate about helping, people that are suffering with substance abuse and alcoholism and drugs that's why hey, Mike, can you, yeah, I'm up, bro, I'm up. Let's do this. It's a passion.
Hopefully, man, in 12 months or something, I can get you to jump back on the pod for another episode. And hopefully we can
For
hear
sure.
that you've done something because I'm backing you on that, man. I know that you're not going to let sobriety grind slip, man. There's going to be some monetization somewhere along the line here, man. Like you just said, it's your passion. And if you can end all this out with your dream of doing that to help other people, man, I think you covered that before, man. Like I feel it, even though we're talking over camera, man, you're blessed, bro. You
I
are.
appreciate you, Gary. I appreciate the
Man,
kind words.
I can see it in your eyes, man. You know what I mean? I can see it through the camera. You're here and you've got a positive, good reason, a good message for people, man. And the world needs people like you, man. They need people
Well,
like,
look, hey, excuse me. The world needs people like you, Gary.
thank
Don't
you,
cut
man.
yourself out of that. Don't, no, seriously, you are a rock. You're a warrior, man. You're a
Yeah, thanks,
foundation. You
bro.
show up every day. I've seen your interviews. You show up every day. Yo, we were on different drugs, but we're still addicts. So we're brothers
Yep.
in arms.
Yeah,
We
man.
show up and we pull addicts out of hell. The world needs people like you too, Gary. It's a community. And the more of us, the better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that shit. That's what I want to hear, man. Like, because that's what the internet's all about, too. It's about bringing everyone together to realize that that's what I want to do. I want to try and get someone from each country if I can, like, just over the spread of time, start out with you in Canada. There's a guy that I've sent a
Fucking
few
A.
messages in America. There was a person in Chile who sent me a message as well. And they said they could really relate. And like on Acast, where I upload my podcast, you can check where people are listening from, like their location. And I actually had the second most listeners is in Canada as well. So it's pretty cool, man, that it's all connected and everyone's
Well,
doing that. Oh,
may I say to my Australian brothers and sisters that we are
yeah,
a part of the Commonwealth. We are a part of the Commonwealth. We're connected, man. So it is what it is. And my son's living in Sydney, so Australia's got a special place in my heart.
yeah,
Aussie
fucking oath, man.
football, mate.
Man, you love it, bro. Come over here and watch a game of AFL or whatever, man. You see 80,000 people screaming over a footy, man. It's prime.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe you.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. And thank you so much, Mike, for your time, man, and being honest like you. I can't
Yes,
thank
sir.
you enough, dude.
Anytime, Gary. I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, man. Don't go anywhere. Just stay there. I'll stop the recording and I'll edit this part out and we'll let it all upload. And then, yeah, all good, man. Thanks for coming on, brother.
So I don't hang up.